Caffeine Ordinary Review. The manufacturer says it's very effective for reducing dark circles and getting rid of puffiness in the under eye region. Does it actually do that? Does it reduce all kinds of puffiness? Can it get rid of all kinds of dark circles? Is caffeine the only key ingredient in this product? Let's find out. I dig deep and analyze the key ingredients and tell you exactly what these ingredients do in this product. I think you'll find this video really helpful. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get started. Now the hero ingredient in this product is caffeine. The manufacturer, Ordinary, says that it's got 5% caffeine. Now caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. What do we mean by that? It constricts the blood vessels. It narrows the blood vessels. But why would we need the blood vessels to be narrowed down? Now let's get into the puffy eyes for a second. Let's actually try to understand some of the reasons for the puffy eyes. I'm going to only talk about the reasons which can be addressed by caffeine. So 3 types of puffy eyes that can be addressed by caffeine are, number 1, let's say you've cried, so your eyes puff up. Your eyes puff up when you cry because whenever we cry, this particular region, this under eye region, the eye region requires more of a blood supply. So what happens is the blood vessels dilate so that more blood can flow through them and reach the eye region. So that's the number 1 reason for the puffy eyes that caffeine can address. You see, whenever the blood vessels are dilating, they have become thickened, right? And this thickness is what's visible in the under eye region as puffiness. You see, the skin in the under eye region is very thin. In fact, it is the thinnest in the entire body. Because it's so thin, anything that's happening, anything abnormal that's happening beneath the skin is very easily visible to the naked eye. So when the blood vessels dilate, that means they have thickened so that they can accommodate more blood supply. When they dilate, that thickness in the blood vessel is what is being visible to us as puffiness. The number 2 reason is, let's say you've used a particular skincare product which has got an ingredient which you're allergic to, or a makeup product which has an ingredient which you're allergic to, and you applied that in the under eye region. Or maybe there are some dust or there's some pollution or something in the atmosphere which has landed here and you're allergic to that. Whenever there's any kind of allergy in the under eye region, the region requires more blood supply. And that can happen only when the blood vessels dilate so that more blood can flow through them and reach the under eye region. So that's the second kind of puffiness that the caffeine can address. Third type of puffiness that caffeine can address is when there's any kind of injury, when there's any kind of breakout in this region. Again, an increased blood flow is required. So the blood vessels will dilate so that more blood can flow through them and reach the under eye region. So again, when the blood vessels dilate, they've kind of become thickened, and that thickness and that puffiness in the blood vessels is what actually visible to the naked eye as puffiness in the under eye region. So when you apply caffeine to the under eye region, what it does is it goes and constricts the blood vessels. So the blood vessels have thickened, they've dilated. Caffeine will go and bring them back to the original state. So when they are brought back to the original state, the thickness in the blood vessels have gone, so the puffiness is gone. Just a quick note, it cannot address and fix the actual cause of the allergy, or it cannot go and fix, if you've got wounded there, it cannot go fix that wound and heal that wound. What it can do is temporarily bring that blood vessel back to the original state that was in. Now, Ordinary says their product has got 5% caffeine in it, so that's a huge tick. It also mentions, the manufacturer also mentions that it's very good at removing dark circles. I'll come back to dark circles a bit later in the video. Let's now get into the next set of ingredients in the product, which is the humectants. It's got 3 humectants: propendiol, hyaluronic acid, and glycerin. These are all very three effective humectants. Humectants are water magnets. They basically attract water from the atmosphere and bring them to the surface of the skin. Now, whenever there's any kind of inflammation, which is basically swelling, puffiness, any kind of puffiness, inflammation in that under eye region, it is also accompanied by some sort of dryness. So that dryness needs to be removed. That dryness needs some kind of hydration. So what better way to get hydration than put some humectants over there? So these three humectants are very good in attracting water from the atmosphere, bring it to the surface of the skin in the under eye region and make them all hydrated. So that's a huge tick. Now the next ingredient that I want to very quickly touch on is soya bean. Now soya bean is an emollient. An emollient, when it's applied to the skin, it'll make the skin soft. It'll act as a thin layer on top of the skin and prevent any further water loss from the deeper layers into the atmosphere. So that's a good ingredient to have in a cream, in a moisturizer. So this one has soya bean, which is reasonably effective. So that's actually another huge tick as well. It also has another ingredient called EGCG, and in fact it ordinary advertises this particular ingredient along with caffeine on its label. I'm going to come back to that in a bit, but before that, I want to very quickly touch upon an antioxidant it has, oxidized glutathione. It's an antioxidant. Now, whenever there's any kind of inflammation, which is a puffiness, inflammation is nothing but kind of swelling, there could be some kind of free radicals having a party there as well. What are free radicals? These are nasty beings. They basically go and attack all the good cells in the skin. So these free radicals, they have to be neutralized. How can you do that? You can only do that with an antioxidant. An antioxidant will go in there, attack them and neutralize the effect free radicals can have. Having an antioxidant in this product is again a huge tick. It's got two ingredients called galactyl glucoside and the other one is EGCG. EGCG stands for epigalactotekin galactyl glucoside. Studies have shown that they're very good at reducing the inflammation that's there in the under eye region. So that's a huge tick again. So these two ingredients, if there is any kind of inflammation, any kind of puffiness, they can help in reducing that kind of inflammation in the under eye region. So that's a huge tick. So the main ingredients, caffeine, which is reducing the puffiness, certain kind of puffiness, and we spoke about the three kinds of puffiness it can reduce. It's got an emollient in soya bean. Emollient makes the skin soft for as long as it's on top of the skin. It's got an antioxidant which can go and neutralize the free radicals that usually are there when any kind of breakouts or inflammation occurs. It's got a lot of humectants in there, 3 humectants, which will hydrate the skin, bring water to the skin, which is excellent. And then it's got 2 key ingredients called EGCG and galactyl glucoside, which are known to reduce inflammation in the under eye region. Now coming to dark circles, we've so far spoken about puffiness. What are the dark circles that caffeine can tackle? Now you see, there are many reasons for dark circles. Caffeine can only tackle one particular kind of dark circle, not all the dark circles. What is the kind it can tackle? Caffeine is actually good for reducing the puffiness, not dark circles as such. Imagine a little hill. Whenever there's a hill, there's a little shadow underneath it. In a similar way, whenever there's any kind of puffiness, there's a little shadow underneath, and this shadow is visible to the naked eye as dark circles. So if you get rid of this puffiness, that dark circle, which is basically the shadow from this puffiness, also goes away. So that's just one kind of dark circles. There are lots of reasons for dark circles. Caffeine cannot tackle all those reasons. Caffeine, in fact, doesn't do anything much for dark circles. It's basically going in there to tackle the puffiness. It gets rid of the puffiness, and in the process, the dark circles, which are the shadow of this puffiness, they go away. So that's the part caffeine plays when it comes to dark circles. It cannot address all the dark circles, only the dark circles that's caused due to the puffiness in the under eye region. So all in all, this is a very good product. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye.